Alrighty, welcome to Codecracken Studios. This is probably take number 153, but that doesn't matter. Welcome to Codecracken. My name is Shane, and today, on this vlog update that I'm trying to make, I'm going to eventually, and actually now, going to start making a game. So, first step is, I'm going to play some games. Then, I'm going to take some notes. After that, I'm going to do some brainstorming. And the last part is I'm going to make a game design document. Now, you might ask why I'm doing all of that there. I'm going to talk about that more in the stages, but let's just get into it. So, now that it's just you and me, I'm coming in close just to tell you. So, first thing we're doing is we're going to play some games. Now, why would I do that? So, before we make any games, before we really start making or planning anything, it's always a good idea to do some research. And doing research in the world of game design is always a good place to start by playing other people's games. We can see what works, what doesn't work, and we can really, for lack of a better word, we can steal what we want from there. But we're not really stealing. We're getting inspiration, and the old adage is kind of true. There's nothing original anymore, so we take it from someone else. So let's do that. So while we're watching this here, I thought I'd just take a minute to talk about why we take notes and brainstorm. So as you can see, playing through other games is obviously it's a lot of fun, but in this case it's research. So we get to go through and we get to test different mechanics, different things that other game makers have done, and sort of come up with our own take on these things. And taking notes helps us in the brainstorming process when we're trying to come up with our own ideas and sort of see what inspiration we can glean from this. Now, earlier I did mention a thing called a game design document. In the industry we also refer to it as a GDD for short. Now, game design documents, basically what that is it's a, think of it like a recipe, or as I like to call it, it's the Bible for a game. So what we do is, after we've done a bit of research and a bit of note-taking and brainstorming, we write an outline document. It's our guiding document, basically, to tell us what we plan to do, what the scope of the game is, what we want it to look like, what we want it to feel like, what our goals are, what we aim for the game to achieve, and overall we want to try and stick to that as best as possible, and that's why we keep this, so that way we have something to go back to during the process, because game design and game development is quite a lengthy process, so having this here helps it keep us sort of in check. That's pretty much what it is and why we need it. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an update of where we're at. So it's been about a week longer than I expected this to be. I haven't filmed quite as much as I intended to. I had a bit of trouble trying to film certain parts, particularly things where I'm trying to write down and take notes. I don't really feel like I have the right setup, or I don't have it what I used to have to do that quite as well. I'll get better at that and I'll figure something out, but that's let's move on. So, alrighty, so I said so a lot. Alright, so there it is again. What I've done is I've played through a few games, I've taken notes, and I've done a bit of a brainstorm and come up with a plan of what my game will be. I've changed directions a bit, not terribly, but just a smidge, and there's a reason for that. I'll go into more detail about what the game is probably in the next video, but for now I'll give a bit of a brief idea, and I'll sort of explain my reasoning for my deviation to my initial plan. The initial plan being that it was going to be a 2D platformer, or 2.5D, but still side-scrolling platform adventure, and for the most part, that is still quite what I enjoyed the idea of. My reason for deviating from that slightly, though, is my intent overall. So, when weighing up the idea of this project, my main concern was that I wanted to make this in Unreal. That's the hard sticking point. And what I found when I was looking into this a lot is that Unreal doesn't seem to support 2D and 2.5D platforming quite as well as Unity does, which is where I'm coming from. And I quite like Unity, and I'm happy to just jump back into Unity and do that. But the reason for this project is not only because I want to make a game, and not only because I want something to show, but also I want to have a bit more exposure into Unreal. So, that being said, I have to make that change. So, what it is, think more like Spyro or Crash Bandicoot, where sort of you've got a central world, 3D gameplay, and you branch off into your little guided levels, basically 3D platforming. It'll be along that lines, and the idea is you'll play as a policeman or a policewoman, and your goal is to detain and arrest criminals, the bad element, and eventually you'll clean up the streets. You'll go ahead and arrest, all of the crime bosses and everything. Each world will have a crime boss, that's my plan, and you'll have the option for lethal and non-lethal combat, things like that. I'll go into more detail in another video, but right now that's the broad strokes of what I'm looking at, and I'm quite excited. I don't have a name for it yet. Maybe if you have any suggestions or some ideas, put them in the comments, or tweet them at me, or let me know however you can find it. But yeah, at the minute, mostly actually the comments is probably the best place to put that. I'm going to leave the channel here. Not leave the channel. Leave the video here now, and I'll see you in the next episode. Like I was saying though, I think, or like I was saying in a previous take, but I'll say it now because I think it was a previous take. What I'm thinking of doing moving forward is less highlighting at the start of an episode what I'm planning on doing, but more trying to do like a day-by-day vlog sort of thing, or a weekly recap, so I can sort of try and keep myself accountable, but not cause a delay by not meeting quite my same expectations. Hey guys, that's right, if you didn't read this already, shameless YouTube promoting time, so that's what it is. You guys already know the deal. You already watch YouTube, so you already know, I'm sure. Don't forget to like. The button should be down there somewhere. Subscribe if you're not already, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you can get notified of every new video that I post. I know it hasn't been a lot lately, but I'm picking up, so I'm doing more. I'm going to be posting, I'm committing to once a week, and they're not going to be quite the same structure as I've already said. They're going to be more day by day sort of thing, so that way we get a bit more of a momentum going, because I really want to be here, and I really want you to see this, and I really want me to be here and see this. So yeah, I'm talking. Maybe it's time I shut up and move on to the next video. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great day.